So, hello again, and welcome back after quite a exceedingly long time to Final Fantasy. I lied, as I'm apparently just pathologically drawn to. We're not immediately going to the post, the post 7s or MSQ. Didn't lie on the title though, mainly last stream. Where I said that, I realized I'm not going to do the alliance raids, so we're going to do no. I may or may not get to the post stuff tonight, but I did remember that I had completely forgotten, slipped my mind, the fact that, oh yeah, the ring triad exists, and it's actually surprisingly important later in the story. Shocking. Yeah, honestly, no, seriously, I was really surprised when it came up, but it's a long time away. So we're gonna be doing that. Shouldn't take too long. I'm gonna be soloing all the fights. Um, There really shouldn't be a problem. I can solo all the fights on their extreme versions. It'll be fine. So it should go by, should go by pretty fast. Don't expect it to take more than 3 hours, but I'm bad at the game, so we'll see. And not helping how bad the game is that I've almost completely reworked my Dragoon hotbar, and I have decided I will be doing this as Dragoon. I was momentarily considering doing this as a summoner, but eh. Summoner will get their day in the sun at some point. I'm gonna think about that because that might be a blatant lie. Um, I'll probably use Summoner for the level 80 raids. I think that's a decent move. It fits thematically. If you know, you know. But yeah. Very excited to be getting back to 14. I've really been a craving getting back to my replaying of the MSQ, and I can't do it off stream for reasons that I discovered and went through when I tried to do the Neo streams. Just it doesn't end well. I have very little tolerance for replaying things that I've very recently gone through. Which will be interesting when I get to Endwalker, but Endwalker was a year ago. That's still baffling to me. It's already been a year since, or very nearly a year since Endwalker came out. I swear to God, those queues feel like they happened yesterday sometimes. Oh God, those queues, the errors. Oh, Gods of Eld. Ah, my lord Arentel, during your absence, a stranger came calling. Upon learning that you were away, he left a message to the effect that he wishes to speak with you and will await you at the Rising Stones. If you have a mind to oblige the stranger, please be careful. I cannot well explain why, but it put me ill at ease to simply be near him. Now, I'll be doing something that I was unable to do my first time through, namely, reading this fucking character's name. Oh my God. This Gloom. This character is coming up. He was in the little quest icon picture. He's on a short list of non-Elysian, non-Seawolf names that I swear to God, this doesn't seem right. Did it only change the interior of the solar? Don't read that. You didn't see that. Massive spoilers. Shush. That's weird. I would think it would have... Actually, you know what? I'm looking at the event tab. You can't see this. I honestly can't tell if that's the post-Endwalker Rising Stones or not, given how like the story is right now. The MSQ at the point where this patch came out, it could be either, even with what Tataru said. I don't know. My thanks for coming. Cue the cyberpunk song. When am I gonna get my chance to shine? There it is! Unik. Oh no, I had so much hope. Unikai is my name, and I serve a friend. I sought you out that I might alert you to the rising threat of the beings known as Icons. You are aware of the threat, you say. Ah, but I speak not of the primals, which you are exceedingly well acquainted. It may interest you to know that the term icon and the beings to which it refers precede the Garlean Empire by eras. You see, it is the name by which the Allagans call the godlike beings, the dark divinity Odin among them, and the Garleans. And the Garleans who seek to emulate the glory of ancient Allag have simply availed themselves of it. Pray permit me to continue the tale. Who is this? I've honestly forgotten. I've forgotten most of the story. I remember the bosses, because they come up in the roulettes fairly often. Ah, Orion J, how kind of you to join us. As a warrior of light's comrade, my participation is but to be expected. After all, the matter doth pertain to the very fate of the star. The Icons of Eld. In the distant past, these mighty beings did offer fierce resistance to the Allagan Empire. However, they eventually fell to the men of Allag, who devised the means by which to capture them. And it did not end with capture, as you well know, for the Allagans also learned how to harness the Icons' power. They refined this knowledge at the Etherochemical Research Facility on Az's Law, and within the centrifugal crystal engine, they sealed 3 of the beings, the Warring Triad. 'Twas first and foremost to acquire the infinite power of the Warring Triad that the Archbishop did seek Az's Law. But in the wake of his defeat, the bindings which confined the Icons were severely damaged. Doubt not that they will fail completely ere long. Know that we do not condemn you for striking down the Archbishop. You are simply fulfilling your destiny, and yet, were the Warring Triad to be released into the world, unimaginable destruction would ensue. Take heart, for there is still hope. Through swift action we may yet prevent their awakening and see them resealed. But in dealing with this new threat, our first step must be to contend with the old. 2 savage gods are returned, I fear, summoned once more by their worshippers, and at a strength far surpassing their previous incarnations. What? I speak of the primals Ravana and Bismarck. What? If left unchecked, they will inevitably seek to seize the power of the Warring Triad. This will serve to feed the confluence of chaos and hasten the Icons of... I don't remember this part. To wit, you must needs vanquish both their kinds. I pray thee, however, to first focus thy gaze upon the primals, ere we seek our attention to those Icons in their fitful slumber. I do not remember having to refight Ravana and, Bismarck. Huh! I shall return to the Waking Sands forthwith and consider such measures are as available to us. Meanwhile, I bid thee attend to the task of eliminating them... oh no, it's too early for this. I bid thee attend to the task of eliminating the primals. Young Unakalhai shall assist thee. Rest assured, he is not our enemy, for the time being at least. Is there... I'm so confused. Is it actually gonna make you fucking fight? I don't think it is. I think it's... Okay, I don't think I actually had to fight Ravana and Bismarck. I think that was purely just a like when you're going through it the first time kind of situation. I do want to check something though, because I don't remember that, and I don't remember there being like a hard mode of Ravana and Bismarck. So did it just have me refight the normal modes? Because that seems a little interesting. The time has come, Warrior of Light. We must move against the Warring Triad now, or suffer the consequences. The seal is cracked and the Icons stir. Should they be allowed to awaken and resume their titanic conflict, it will be alike to the coming of a second calamity. Dude, there's been like 8? There's been 7 of those. I think you're off by a few. You, Arentel, represent our best hope of eliminating this threat. That said, the very act of entering the containment facility itself presents certain unique challenges. So unique, in fact, that I struggle to locate an individual with the requisite talents to surmount them. Were it not for the impressively diverse connections of your fellow scions, I might still be searching. Happily, however, they were able to furnish me with a suitable candidate. Now, along with you and your Echo-blessed companions, all the pieces we need to proceed with this deadly game are arrayed upon the board. Victory hinges upon no less than the total destruction of the warring triad. But we must also wear the interfere. Oh, times like these I wish I had like gifts I could pull up on the stream, or the wherewithal to set that up. One more time, but we must also wear the interference of those who covet the Allagan's primal harnessing technology. I speak, of course, of the blindly grasping hand of the Garlean Empire and its fumbling agents. The ignorant meddling of the Empire will serve only to hasten the Icon's awakening. It is my master's desire that the Triad be dispatched before Imperial forces delve too deeply. Being the nearest to wakefulness, the Icon Sephiroth shall be your first adversary. What is going on in Yo's network? Make your preparations and join me on the flagship in Az's Law. We shall speak further there. There's like all hell is broken loose in Novice Network. Holy shit. Okay, Az's Law. It's a ship? Wait, I'm connecting some dots I never bothered to do before. Oh, and I just remembered. Hey, you know how I have a 5-minute timer, and you would usually use that to like set up your stream. Yeah. Instead, I had to pilot my bird going in circles because nowhere on YouTube is there a copy of the Sephiroth opening of the Sephiroth Phase 1 theme that doesn't also have either system sounds or Phase 2 bolted to it. So instead of doing anything productive, I held the D key and span in circles on my bird. The things I do to circumvent very minor inconveniences. I guess it's a ship. I can see it. Because, like, where is track continue? Wait a minute. Yeah, it's that. Because, like, that's a ship. But, like, that doesn't look like how you would expect a ship to look. So I guess I can accept it. Never know. There's a lot about Az's Law I never noticed. Like, it took me until like the second boss in this trial series to even notice that these statues existed, and that was like really freaking embarrassing my first time through. What are you? Nothing can waste my time. Hello, Nikolai. This is the place, Warrior of Light. Here we will find the containment facility wherein entities of incalculable power lie chained, their fathomless energies siphoned away by Allagan devices. As I warned you, Sephiroth poses the most immediate threat. His dreaming mind drifts perilously close to consciousness. Thus must his destruction be our first concern. Your fellow Scions will be joining us anon, accompanied by the uniquely talented individual of whom I spoke. From what I gather, the two of you are already well acquainted. Let us continue inside and wait before the doors to the containment facility. Now, I may be mistaken. I kind of hope I am. But I do believe that we technically haven't met her yet in the MSQ, Ms. Cryo. I might be mistaken, but I can't remember her showing up in Heavensward proper. So, meet Cryo. We already know her, technically, but I'm not doing these in patch order necessarily, although I will be doing them in patch order for Shadowbringers, because there's like major spoilers in the Eden raids if you aren't following the MSQ in the same time. and I don't want to do the Eden raids after I go through the post-Shadowbringer stuff, so... You've not been waiting long, I trust. We are eager to lend whatever cooperation we made to your mission, Arentel. It is an honor to meet you at last. I know of only one Mikote Scion. As I know of only one Mikote Scion. I dropped a word, okay. You must be Archon Y'shtola, meaning your diminutive companion is Mistress Kryl of the Students of Baldessian, correct? We've heard of Kryl before, during ARR, I think? Maybe? I'm drawing a blank. Diminutive. Perhaps there has been some mistake. I assumed it was from my knowledge and not my stature that you requested my assistance. The mistake is mine. My apologies if I have given offense. Mayhap it would be best if we proceeded directly to the matter of our objectives. Your adversary is the Icon Sephiroth of the Warring Triad, otherwise known by the historians of Allag as the Fiend. He was once the patron deity to a tribe of tree-like beings native to Mericidia, but was subdued by the Allagan Empire after a lengthy war of attrition. After his defeat, he was imprisoned for use as a source of power. Even now, Sephiroth is neither truly living nor dead. His mind bound in a dream, while his body's energies are harnessed by Allagan technologies. The explanation of his failure to dissipate into Aether lies in his restraints. These ingenious devices serve not only to bind him, but to continuously regenerate his corporeal form. Meaning it will be all but impossible to banish him while said restraints are in place, yes. Remove them, however, and we risk allowing an unfathomably powerful and doubtless vengeful icon to run rampant. It seems we have no choice but to divide our forces. One team must locate the controls to Sephiroth's shackles and disable them, while the other stands ready to destroy him at the moment of his awakening. A most succinct assessment, Mr. Kryl. While I am aware that the Echo provided you with uncanny insight, I did not expect you to intuit the core of my strategy quite so swiftly. Ha, if only my gift offered such detailed analysis, which is to say, it doesn't. I merely took it upon myself to learn as much about the Triad's imprisonment as I could before coming here. It will be Arentel and I, after all, who enter the Icon's den. Indeed, given the nature of our adversary, none save those under the aegis of the Echo should be permitted to enter the containment facility. The risk of primal influence is too great. Well then, that's settled then. Goodness. I will disable the restraints, and Arentel and his gifted adventurers, friends, will welcome Sephiroth back into the waking world. Better that than the other way around, I'd say, considering our respective fields of expertise, and, of course, my diminutive stature. Right, it's time I had a little chat with the doorkeeper over there. Activating verification systems, lifting access restricted to triad control. I had no idea the Baldessian curriculum was so comprehensive. When we locate the controls for Sephiroth's restraints, I shall gladly leave their operation to you. When we locate the controls, mayhap my words were unclear. Only those blessed with the Echo may safely enter the facility. Your concern for my sanity is touching, but unnecessary. Suffice it to say, I am in no danger of falling under the Icon's sway. Warning, verification systems detect multiple unauthorized vessels entering restricted airspace. Security systems engaging intruders. The Garleans. Come, Mariange, we must keep the Imperials occupied. We too should be on our way. Gods, I would be lying if I said I wasn't slightly terrified, but I can't very well leave every deadly task to you Scions. According to the histories, Sephiroth was immense in both size and strength, mighty enough to rout even the implacable armies of the Allagans. In that, more than once. To cut a long story short, we have to get this right. I shall do my best not to wake the icon up too much, as my grandfather always used to say of certain little monsters. Get them up and get them moving while their brains are still abed. You know what? I'm out of practice. I'm not putting my cursor in the corner during cutscenes. Bad streamer, terrible streamer. Let's see if like we even get past the first verse of the second phase. My hopes are not high, but then I'm not. But then I can barely maintain my rotation because I changed all of my hotkeys. And I wasn't too great even before then. And it's not a samurai. I did it this time. I'm proud of myself.
Disabling Sephiroth's restraints now. Good luck.
I had to, my chair is dying, actually. Special measures to make sure I can still use my computer adequately. Piece of shit. Okay, well, hello Mr. Sephiroth. Let's see how fast I can kill you. Oh, that's a good sign. Notice how I'm not being any of my jumps. Yeah. Who's it knocking at? It's just a tank buster, everything's fine. I can't loot. Sorry, oh, I pressed the wrong button. To be expected right here. Go away. I want to save Flow of the Dragon. Alright, phase 2. Why? I'm not getting spirit bound for this, right? I should be. It would make no sense. Sun sync. That's interesting. I always thought that the binding happens based on like giving some percentage of a spirit bound. You have dimmed my boundless light. What power of death the mortals wield? Oh, I can hit him. Okay, let's go. Welcome to one of the songs where I have to actively fight myself and not sing along with. This is gonna be pretty bad. I remember this. There we go. I might swap to a different job. I know it doesn't fit thematically as well, but I'm gonna go a little bit mad trying to maintain my Dragoon rotation on screen. I can barely do it off stream. I need to spend like a full half hour smacking a target dummy one of these days, just to get it drilled back into my head. It doesn't help that my sitting posture is kind of fucked up by the fact my chair won't stay up. I'm being attacked on multiple fronts. You did it. I've seen you in action before, but never against anything that big. My legs kept telling me to run, but I just couldn't tear myself away. I don't think I blinked once during the whole battle. I soloed it too. It's pretty neat. A hero, tried and true. If only I had possessed such strength. Sus? Ystrola, this is Kryl. Icon eliminated. Wow, why is it so much worse now? Ah. Oh, if only you could have seen it. Arantel gave Sephiroth the mother of all rude awakenings. And your distraction was perfect. We encountered not a single Imperial soldier. Hmm? Yes, understood. Let's swap tales of the Rising Stones then. On our path to the control chamber, we discovered a number of dormant thralls. It would seem the machines that preserve their forms also hold them in a state of torpor. We need not fear them summoning their deity anew. In short, our work here is done, for the present at least. Let's go home, shall we? You know, I could have themed it on each of the bosses. For that one, I could have done Marauder, bring a big tree bring a big axe to chop down the tree. I guess the thematically fitting one for the next one would be I can see arguments for Black Mage, but Black Mage obviously fits with the last one best. Anyway, your senses are sharp, young one. I am Regula Van Hydrus, legatus of the 7th Legion. That's not 7, that's 6? I think that's the 6th Legion? I'm gonna say 6th. I'm bad with Roman numerals, don't flame me, I'm sorry. And it would seem that damnable woman and her accomplice have led me a merry dance through the thickest of this infernal island's defenses. To think that I pursued them. I shall withdraw for now, my lesson learned. I doubt it. You Garleans never learn. You covet the means to enslave primals, but in your headlong dash to control what you do not understand, you show less wisdom than the very beast tribes that summoned them. I have no interest in crossing blades with children. Live, grow strong, and mayhap one day you will warrant my attention. I looked back and you weren't there. Did something happen? Not of consequence. I mistook a shadow for a man. Just what are you hiding beneath that mask of yours? A longing for hope, an appetite for power, a lingering sense of regret. And do I detect a desire to test your strength against a certain hero? Is that what your gift tells you? No, those were just wild guesses, but I wonder if some few of my words didn't strike close to the mark. Or mayhap more than a few. Be at ease, Unakelai. I have no supernatural ability to read minds. The echo simply allows me to comprehend, regardless of language, that which a fellow being would have me know. You need not mask your heart as you do your countenance. or whatever. That was a performance then, a ruse to uncover my true nature. I see. I shall have to keep my wits about me. Returning to the Rising Stones. Hey, I know that mount. That's it's the Shadowbringers Collector's Edition, I think, if memory serves. Let's see. Ah, man, what is a good boss for this next one? God damn it, what's wrong with my brain tonight? Not boss. Class. Fuck it. I don't like this boss. I'm just gonna use Samurai and see if I can kill it in like under 10 seconds. This next boss has some very fun mechanics that even unsynced can wipe me if I'm not paying at least a modicum of attention. So, Warrior of Light, how did it feel to strike down so great a foe? You must tell me more of the experience once our meeting with your colleagues is concluded. You're gonna be seeing a lot more of my samurai during the Storm's Blood playthrough. Through thine all-surpassing skill at arms, do we now take our first step in ridding the star of the warring triad's baleful presence. And in such wise do we lessen the burden bequeathed unto us by the vainglory of Alag. Know, however, that the two icons which remain are thought equal in might to Sephiroth, and may yet exceed him. Ere thou proceed, I would counsel. God damn it! I would fuck. I would. Ah. Ere thou proceed, I would counsel thee to marshal thy strength and give careful thought to thy preparation. God. Fucking hurry on J, man. Assuming that the Garleans afford us the luxury of time, even now they grasp for the means to dominate primals, blind to the technology's potential for calamity. My master taught me why can I not read? My master taught me that the entity known as Sephiroth was the world's first sacred tree, and elevated to godhood by the belief of its worshippers. There is no power more fearsome than that born of unconditional faith and unbending ideal. 'Tis plain your master found in you a willing student. Tell me, was it he who taught you of Alag's technology's potential for calamity, or are those your own words? 'Twas but a figure of speech, nothing more. When last we met, I thought I caught a glimpse of the boy behind the mask, but it would seem your defenses are firmly back in place. Must you persist with this infuriating veil of secrecy? I, for one, would very much like to know who this master of yours is, amongst other things. As long as our purposes align, what matter my affiliation? It matters a great deal. I do not ask out of idle curiosity. If we are to fight as comrades, we need to be able to trust each other. On which note, I should apologize for my earlier trickery. It was merely an attempt to get to the heart of an enigmatic companion. Truth be told, I was rather glad you reacted as you did. No person of your age has any business being calm and aloof all the time, much as you might wish to be. Anyway, we had best be off. Do send word if there are any further developments. My mouse wasn't on the screen. The companion now, am I? Oh, I can still click when it's up there. That's good to know. I am troubled, Warrior of Light, that the 6th Legion will not soon surrender its pursuit of Allagan technology. Huh? Well, huh? No one's reacting to a lit. Oh, there it is. Okay, I'm just not. Why didn't. Shouldn't there have been a delay? Anyway. Well, it is true that the 6th. Goodness. I learn something new about myself every day. Well, it is true that the 6th Legion suffered heavy losses in attempting to breach Ezislaw's defenses. The Legion is still very much a force to be reckoned with. Left to its own devices, it will not be long before the Legatus moves to... That's when you play the sound. At least give it like 20 seconds. Pray excuse the interruption, but a call to this link pearl can only come from one of your fellow scions. Arcana Shola, what news? You are quite certain they have broken through? Yes, of course, we shall leave immediately. It would seem the thing I feared most has come to pass. The Garleans have succeeded in dispelling the barrier Urian J placed upon the entrance to the research facility. We must intercept and destroy them before they acquire the means to control primal entities. Arcana Shola requests that we assemble at the scene of the intrusion. Pray depart at once. I will join you when I have informed the other scions of this development. Hey, back to Ezislaw. Back. There we go. Stop. Fuck. Okay, one more time. I swear I have some level of fine motor skills. They're in there somewhere. Okay. Ooh, the spoiler dog. Why aren't you moving? I was gonna drop some... I wonder what they're doing. I think they're waiting to do the etherochemical plan. No, they have Skaven stuff on. I have no fucking clue what they're doing. Huh. Anyway. I see we are the first to arrive. No matter your colleague... No matter... I swear to God. I see we are the first to arrive. No matter, your colleagues should be here anon. They were wise indeed to keep this area under surveillance. Had the Garleans slipped by unnoticed, I dare not think of the consequences. Arcana Shola stepped forth for Ezislaw when it became apparent that the Legatus was attempting to breach the barrier, and arrived to find that he had succeeded. We must hope that he has yet to find his prize. I was going to say that I think that the removal of Kaiten actually isn't as big a deal as some people make it out to be. But I do feel as though it should be brought back, but different. It should have a much longer cooldown, essentially. And it's only really meant for your big burst phase. Which would mean that, like, before level 90, you would use it on one of your the 3 sticker attacks, and then at level 90 you would save it for Ogi and Nakamari. I can't remember any of the samurai ability names, I'm sorry. Well met, Unakala. Well met, Unakala, and thank you for answering my summons so swiftly. Arentel, we shall all be glad of your presence should we meet with the 6th Legion, as seems all but certain. Why can't... There we go. As you may be aware, this facility houses some of Alag's most advanced technology. Accordingly, Urianger sought to deny the Empire easy ingress by weaving a ward of singular potency. Not singular enough, it would seem. I would be surprised if the Legatus had not reached the core laboratories already. 'Tis passing strange. I wove the ward in accordance with the most closely guarded teachings of the Archmages of Charlian. Naught was left to chance. Naught. 'Tis well known that the children of Garlemald have no talent for arcane manipulation, nor hath the Empire more than a cursory knowledge of sorcery. That they should succeed in unraveling so complex a skein of magecraft and with such surpassing swiftness tis passing strange. That it is Urianger, but 'tis a mystery for another day. I don't like how that rhymed. Arcania Stola has the right of it. Before all else, we must move to safeguard the knowledge which enabled the Allagans to harness primal energies. Our particular concern is the Genesis expression, an etherochemical formula that allowed the scholars of yore to create a substance from nothingness. I know of no such formula. Whence came you by this information? From your enigmatic master, perchance? He did furnish me with that morsel, yes, and knowing exactly which prize the Legatus now seeks enables us to predict his position. Do you not see we have been gifted the perfect opportunity to remove the head of an entire legion? I did not think you so bloodthirsty, Unakali. Surely safeguarding secrets should not take precedence over slaying Legatuses. Should take precedence. Cryo's sentiments reflect my own, yet the other two objectives need not be mutually exclusive. What say you, Urianger? Urianger? Ah, forgive me, my thoughts were bound up in idle imaginings. In answer to thy question, milady, I am content to be led by thee in the... To be led by thee in this matter. I read that, right? Sorry, I wasn't muted when I read that, right? Sorry, it's just potential for noise. Trigger happy on the mute button, you know? Right, I've enabled the facility's teleporters, shall we? Now, hopefully I wasn't an idiot. You dwell on the matter of the barrier? I do, verily. 'Twas a warding spell of labyrinthine intricacy, the brainchild of the head of the students of Baldessian himself. Even the most learned Archon would require some several moons to disentangle such an enchantment. To do so in mere bells would require some preternatural ability, akin to the very echo itself. This cutscene, please. I have to go do something. Okay, I'll be back in like probably less than a minute, but I gotta go poke something. return with water, and I can do nothing about my chair. So I will just be fiddling with it all stream long. Isn't that fun? Anyway. I didn't read that. I'm gonna do something very easy. Nah, I'll do it on normal, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. What's the worst that could happen? It takes like an hour and a half? There's no way that happened. The Garleans strike from the heart of the facility, and the Legatus spearheads the Oh no, his enemies! Fuck! Must be swift in our pursuit! It's not very easy when the enemies won't group up by AoE standard. Oh, there's so many of you. Oh, Arrow 3. I wasn't around when it was a thing. It's still nice to see, though. Good. I don't think this music is used anywhere else in the game, actually, when I think about it. Hello, Legatus. The Legatus himself is here. After him. Let's go. Ooh, this thing's got some health. It also won't fucking stop moving. Get the fuck back here. Oh. Okay, I guess Orienge is gonna fight the cool enemy, and I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna. Good luck, Orienge.
In the name of the Emperor!
Oh shit! Ah. Please stop. Separate. I really wish I was playing right now. I'm feeling when you don't play Dark Knight the one time. Perish. And you also. Anyone else? You good? I'm missing a lot of the side text. Go, I will stand guard over Mrs. Kryle. You must keep the Legatus and his prize. That was Uruk-Halai. Ystrola, we leave her in your care then. You best keep her safe, Uruk-Halai. Oh boy, is this something I actually get to do like a full rotation on? That'd be kind of neat. I'd enjoy that. Looks like it. Beautiful. One full rotation. I can do this. Oh, I do. I need Shola. There we go. Thanks, Shola. Appreciate it. After the Legatus. Oh. Me versus the Legatus, 1v1, and they still come! Cue the Cyberpunk. Press on R intel, I will handle this. And Ystrola was never seen again. I always thought it was shitty that they killed her off for side content, but what can you do? I've exposed the bones of their work, now to extract the marrow. Even in the moment of my triumph, you persist in your misguided crusade. So be it. I shall present my prize to the Emperor alongside your head. Do I have enough Kenki? I do. Beautiful. Oh, and I'm all set up. Optimal. This level all lines up right. That's a thing, isn't it? Yep. Ouch.
Can you withstand this?
Can you not stand there? Thank you.
There is nowhere to run!
There's checkpoints, right? I don't have to redo that entire thing, right? There's no fucking way, right? Right? That's slightly annoying. What's that buff? Where does that come from? Who used to have that? Move on now. Look, it's the Legatus. Okay, RJ, you got this, friend. Let's go.
In the name of the Emperor!
Is there actually gonna be a wall? There's not. Pretty sure I have to fight these guys or else it won't progress, so... Joy. Oh shit, there's a lot of fucking damage. No, she doesn't. It's already dead. Milmo. I could have played the Omilmo class. Monk gives me headaches. Okay, let's go. This time, let's actually do the mechanics of the fight and not get annihilated, ideally. Come on. Okay, Mr. Van Hardus. Okay, Hydrus.
withstand this?
Would you kindly not stand in the dot field, please? Thank you. Inhibitors exist for a reason. But they will not lose to you again. He's got a lot of pets. William. It's dead. I don't. Oh. Cool. There we go. Freedom at last. On with the story. Arentel. The Tomolith is unbreached then. Cryo. My wounds will not slow my blade should you seek to bar my path. And you would slay me, no doubt, but it would be your final act. Well, realistically speaking, any given class could kill him before he had the active opportunity to kill Cryo. Samurai especially, as well as any ranged class. What madness affects you, Eorzeum fools? The Emperor but desires a means to shackle the Icons and their destructive appetites. Why do you rail against your own salvation? It is not for man to wield such power. The primal energy your Emperor seeks to contain would be as kindling waiting for a spark. Forget not the White Raven, Legatus. Like thee, he presumed to wield the power of Alag, and invited the calamity in so doing. This star's fate is too important to be decided by any one man, a warmongering savage least of all. Have care, boy, you speak of my Emperor. But dying here in defense of his honor will not further his cause. He just fucking flashbanged us. It may be teleported. It's possible. I can believe it. Well, well, I appear not to be dead. Exclamation of pain. Cryo. I may have cracked a rib or two, but I'll be fine. Don't worry. I probably misread that. Our foe gives no quarter. Had Hedunakali stinted in his defense of thee, thou mayest be certain that thy hurts would be far worse. I could do no less. Mistress Cryle is here at my behest, after all. The secrets of Alag are safe for the present, though 'tis doubtful the Legatus will return to Garlemald till the prize he coveteth lieth in his grasp. God damn it, Orianche. Then we must redouble our efforts to protect this place. Cryle and I will place additional seals upon the Tomolith. Why not, like, break it? Or get Charlian to come and take it? Unakali? I appreciated you staying at my side. Thank you. 'Twas not. Oh, please, it was a good deal more than that, and you know it. Now let me help you. When a woman thanks you for saving her life, the customary response is, "You're welcome." You're welcome. Neat. Okay. Actually on track. Ah, Ariane J, are the new wards already in place? My colleagues yet toil upon their enchantments. I come unto thee in secret that I might question thee outside their hearing. Question me? I would speak with the one who undid my subtlest magecraft. He who invited an imperial legatus into this facility in hopes of engineering the man's demise at the hands of the warrior of light. You accuse me of masterminding this day's events. The plan may have been thy master's, but the deed was thine. Thou didst lure the legatus of the 6th Legion into a trap from which he was not intended to emerge. 'Tis plain to me now that thy seeming opportunism in proposing his elimination was feigned, and that his death was the object of thy plan from the first. You have proof of this. Thine own words betrayed thee. Thou didst speak of the Empire's desire to claim the Genesis expression, the existence of which even the learned Mistress Kryl was ignorant. Whence did the legatus come by such definitive knowledge? And then there is the matter of mine unraveled ward. None save one possessed of an otherworldly gift would have so swiftly effected its dissolution. Know thee of another blessed with such. Assuming these accusations have merit, what then? Full many times and oft doth the pursuit of truth lead men down darkened paths. I take no issue with thy purpose, 'tis but thy method I would call into question. In the Garlean Empire we have a common foe. Hadst thou disdained to share thine intentions with Arantel or Mistress Kryl, 'tis like that they would have closed the trap with less risk to life and more success. I sought to use the most dangerous secrets of Alag as bait. Who among you would agree to such reckless a plan? Well, I scattered myself unto the wind on the chance that an untested magic would allow me to transport myself to an unattuned aether. I think I would do something that stupid and reckless, but that's just me. Literally. None, and with good cause. Irrespective, thou wert remiss in thy duty to thy comrades. I note with some disappointment that in matters concerning the primals, and those who would control them, the cold rationality upon which thou so pridest thyself is conspicuous by its absence. Know that the salvation of the star is an end too vast for any one of us to accomplish alone. Shouldst thou fail to trust in thy comrades, I foresee thy actions precipitating some terrible misfortune. Indeed. My sincerest apologies, Arantel. Orion J is correct in his suspicions. It was I who orchestrated this encounter with the Empire. I would ask that thou forgive Unakalai his transgression, and keep mention of it from Mistress Kryl. It would be a pity for one foolish decision to wither their budding camaraderie ere it had a chance to bloom. there you are, you rotten idler. When Yashala realized you were struggling with the wards alone, she was absolutely livid. Never mind. Never mind the warring triad. I've awoken Archon Yashtola's tempestuous wrath. In supplicant mood shall I return at once, and there atone for mine indolence. Come, Ardell, it is time we returned to the Rising Stones. Back to the Rising Stones. Yeehaw. Let's get to the next boss, yeah? Hello, spoiler Tataru. Goodbye, spoiler Tataru. The thing history said is really not a spoiler, though. At least not right now. It's pretty easy to interpret in non-spoiler ways. Once again, I must apologize for acting without your consent or counsel. As a gesture of repentance and a sign of good faith, allow me to share something of myself with you. As Orianjay suggested, I possess the gift of the Echo, though it is of a nature different from yours. Regardless, I would use my gift for the selfsame purpose, the salvation of this star, and nothing poses a greater threat to the world than the proliferation of primal harnessing technology. This I know only too well. What I am about to divulge concerns the fate of another star entirely. On this other world, a magic was devised that allowed the realm's champions to use a stone known as Auracite to contain the power of primals. So armed, these heroic souls conquered god after god, oblivious to their weapons' fatal imperfection. Its propensity to bleed primal energies, and with each victory, the heroes change, transforming at last into fiends of endless appetite. Insatiable in their hunger for aether, they ultimately went to war over the star's ever-dwindling life force, and fought until there was nothing left. Thus, as Orianjay so astutely observed, when I am faced with those who rush to embrace power unchecked, I lose all semblance of rationality. I know that my master, too, cares deeply about the fate of the star. I am his servant and his instrument, sent here to ensure that the same tragedy does not consume another world. Warrior of Light, if this world is to survive, we must needs move forward. With our plan, another pillar of the warring triad must be toppled, the question of which has already been answered. Following our encounter with the legatist, Archon Y'shtola detected erratic etheric waveforms emanating from the sector containing the icon Sephora, known simply as the Goddess in former times. Such readings can mean only one thing: she is close to waking. Let us return to Azizla forthwith and put an end to this primal deity, lest she rise again in all her terrible glory. Funnily enough, this is the most annoying of the fights, but also has probably my favorite of the Phase 2 songs. It's a really close bet with Sephiroth's, though. Sephiroth's boss theme is really fucking good. Another spoiler mount. This is probably the most annoying part about going to Azizla. The climb back to the peak. Goddamn time. We appear to be the first to arrive. Shall we await our colleagues here? Could the 6th Legion have returned? Urakali. You're under attack. Yashola and Urianger have engaged the foe not far from here. Ha! Rarely is my shield thus tested. 'Twould seem the Elegans have not been lax in their recruitment. Think you so? Mayhap your arm merely withered whilst you lay idle. Still your tongues. We have stalled them long enough. I think that's the Sclea armor. These are all armor sets you can get from the Crystal Tower series. With scales in hand, the goddess shall arise and righteously cast off her cursed pall, that she, with wrathful Worm King at her side, might judge and thence bring balance unto all. Hear my words in despair, Elegans. Our goddess is awoken. Your civilization has birthed the instruments of its own undoing. 'Tis well that you are here, Arantel, and would like to know what our assailants were saying. You understood their words, did you not? 'Twas a Mericidian dialect, if mine ears do not deceive, though one which beareth scant resemblance to any spoken in recent times. And as for our antagonist's meaning, I do gladly defer to those blessed with the echo. The one with the shield seemed to think we were Elegans. He recited what sounded like a verse of prophecy, then claimed that their goddess is awoken. Is that about right, Arantel? I like how my hat completely covers my face. It might be assumed that this deity of theirs is the very icon we've come to topple. It would seem so. It seems fair to assume. Aye, from their tongue, their words, and their attire, 'tis like that our antagonists were Mericidian, thralls to the goddess Sephora, and victims of the Allegan incursions. If, as Kryl claimeth, they thought us Allag, 'tis little wonder that they sought to bring us low. You suggest that Sephora's... You suggest that Sephora's servants have been liberated from their containment, and we have no choice but to accept word of her awakening as truth. Gods help us. The warring triad have proven formidable enough when we've roused them with a fraction of their true strength. Should Sephora break free at the peak of her powers, Arantel and his friends won't stand a chance. I don't know. I think I'll be fine. Let us be about it then. Arantel, Kryl, and Urakali, the three of you will make directly for Sephora's containment facility. Urianger and I will do what we can to occupy the Icon's thralls. Mrs. Kryl, do you perchance recall the words of the prophecy in its entirety? Let me see, I believe it was, with scales in hand the goddess shall arise, and righteously cast off her cursed pall, that she with wrathful Worm King at her side might judge, and thence bring judgment unto all. Or judgment and balance. Call it. I can read. I don't know why that's important. I guess it kind of like slightly explains one of the mechanics. Kind of. A little. Anyway, I'm gonna see if I can annihilate Sephora in like 3 attacks. I don't have high hopes, but maybe I will surprise myself. Samurai hits really fucking hard. Totally has nothing to do with the fact why I chose to choose Samurai. Actually, I haven't played a lot of Samurai recently. Samurai is, I don't know, just I really enjoy it. Yeah, it's pretty fucking brain
I
dead.
leave the goddess in your capable hands.
Being honest, try
Just
why.
watch out for her worshippers.
Oh no, waifu. She even has orbed upon her. I'm ready for Sephora to get me fucking banned on Twitch. I think it'd be absolutely goddamn hilarious. Not even gonna lie. I just hope I can export the VOD before it hits. The
unenlightened come.
Okay, and now it starts. Oh, no.
Know you the full weight of death.
Okay. Aw, damn it. I just wasted my... Please come back. Dang. Still wasted my freaking, that thing. There we go.
Come forth, scales of revelation.
Oh, wait a minute. You know, this is normal mode. I don't have to do shit.
I would know the weight of your souls.
Because the walls don't go anywhere. Wall wrecked. Scrub. Oh! I'm wrong.
Can you breathe?
wrong
Sin
and
must
maybe
be
dead.
balanced with suffering.
Can I kill her before the fact that I don't want to have the requisite situational awareness fights me? I don't have any hopes. It's a hard maybe right now, I might pull it off.
Daughter, be the bearer of my wisdom. My revelations.
Beautiful. Didn't even get to, like, the main thing that makes that song great. That's a little sad. Bye, Sephora. The scale mechanics here still kill me sometimes. Get too lost in the bloodlust, and I'm suddenly off the edge of the map and dead. I see the goddesses no more. Well done. Once Kryl and Unakai have rejoined us, we may safely depart. One thing yet puzzles me, however. How did Sephora's servants come to wake from their slumber? I believe we have the answer to that. discovered the remains of a Garlean soldier in an adjacent sector of the containment facility. 'Tis likely that the fool ventured too close to Sephora during the Empire's previous incursions and was enthralled for his troubles. Another reminder, if any, were needed as to the incalculable threat posed by these beings. The goddess would not have even been conscious when she claimed the man's will, and yet his mistake granted her the means to release her servants, and would have resulted in her own liberation had we not been on hand to intervene. I do much wonder that the Icon's pawn was capable of so effectively manipulating the facility's containment systems. How came he by such refined knowledge? That too is easily explained. During our investigation, Corral discovered a subtle flaw in one of the mechanisms which held the goddess in check, a flaw which had plainly been added intentionally. Upon examining the facility's records of the period, we were able to piece together the story. It was a time towards the end of the Third Astral Era when the peoples of Myrcidia faced extinction at the hands of the Allegan Empire. Sephora, a being of incomparable cunning, was said to have communicated certain plans to her servants through the medium of a trusted oracle. Following the oracle's instructions, they duly conspired with the rebel faction within Allag, who, we believe, agreed to tamper with the prison intended for Sephora, and when the goddess and her thralls chanced to be captured, though we suspect that this had always been their plan. Indeed, the prison was situated in the heart of Allag, and we think they intended to attack the city from within. They would merely have had to wait for the rebels to exploit the weakness in their confines. But the conspirators' dealings with the Myrcidians were exposed before they could enact their plot, and all were summarily executed. It seems that the flaw itself remained undiscovered, however, and might have remained so until the end of days, had it not been for the actions of the Archbishop and subsequently the Garleans. I cannot help but wonder what might have come to pass had their scheme been successful. Mayhap the answer lies in the prophecy. Krile hath the right of it. Its words may be deciphered thus. The accursed Pal speaketh of Sephora's prison, from which she was supposed to emerge at the agreed hour. The Worm King, meanwhile, can be none other than great Bahamut himself, then yet a prisoner whom the goddess did intend to unleash upon Allag to set right the scales of justice. A foolhardy plan. Had it come to fruition, the two of them would surely have razed the realm. Naught would have been spared the devastation, the Myrcidians' homeland included. Their home already stood on the brink of oblivion. Mayhap they wished for naught else but to purge the poison of Allag with primal fire. A tale teacheth us that even the greatest man's creations may yet be brought low by a single act of treachery. The Allagans were fools to place their trust in technological bondage. To shackle such beings is but to delay the inevitable. Naught save their total destruction shall free us from their menace. Let us return now to the Rising Stones, and there consider the final steps of the most needful task. The threat posed by this facility is far greater than you imagine, Orion J, and one not limited to the Icons themselves. Sephora's remaining servants must be put down. Warning, deactivating status chamber support systems will result in a subject termination. Enter identification code to continue. Ellipses. Identification code accepted. Subjects terminated. I'm back in the Rising Stone. So let's go. Hour and a half. We're on pace. We're on pace for yeah, for at least getting through the entire Warring Triad by the end of this. If this entire stream just ends up being the Warring Triad, and I have to make a thumbnail just for this, well, I have an idea. So at least there's that. Hello, Tataru. Goodbye, Tataru. Wait a minute. Is that what I think it is? She turned the Brewmaster into a flower vase. That's unfortunate. Poor Brewmaster. I bet Wedge is devastated. Is Autumnus, Warrior of Light? Archon Yeshua mentioned that there was a matter she wished to discuss. I'm sure everything is fine. Well, man Arentel, you will forgive me if I seem curt, but I would settle an account with our young friend. While conducting a final suite of oh, it's Sophia. Where did that R come? Why did I put not? Okay, we're moving on. Moving on. It didn't happen. Nothing happened. This isn't being recorded. Cough, cough. Of Sophia's containment facility, we discovered. I hope I wasn't saying Sephora. I 100% believe I was, but I hope I wasn't. I hope I'm misremembering. We discovered that all her remaining thralls had perished in their stasis chambers. This was your doing. Aye, it was. I chose to act upon the knowledge revealed within the tombstone we recovered. The true purpose of these prisons is far more horrifying than we first assumed. The Elegans were not simply observing the icons and siphoning away their energies. They were conducting experiments in preparation for a far more ambitious project. If you'll recall, both the Fiend and the Goddess were imprisoned within massive spherical structures. These spheres were the prototypes which paved the way for the successful construction of an artificial celestial body. You speak of Dalamud. Aye, the Icon's cages are unmistakably of the same design as the Red Moon. To be plain, the research facility contains the seeds of 3 calamities which might feasibly be visited upon a chosen target. Eliminating one of them necessitated the destruction of the goddess's slumbering thralls, a distasteful task unbefitting one such as the Warrior of Light. Thus did I resolve to perform the deed myself. You have made your case, and 'tis apparent that we were not in full possession of the facts. Nevertheless, your notion of what may or may not be expected of Arentel is presumptuous in the extreme. Yeah, I've killed tons of people. When the Warrior of Light chose to join the Scions, he did so in the knowledge that he would be required to face and destroy not only the Primals, but also their fanatical servants. That which you term a distasteful task is an essential part of our calling, a burden which every Scion is sworn to shoulder. Yeah, dude, I've got the blood of like hundreds on my hands. I see. It would seem I misjudged the depth of your resolve. No matter. Assuming I have made myself understood, you need not speak of it again. There is, however, one subject which merits discussion. You determined that Sophia's thralls were awakened by a Garlean soldier who had somehow gained access to the containment area, did you not? If that is the case, it seems highly doubtful that the interloper wandered into such a dangerous part of the facility by chance. Dissidents within the Empire claim that the 6th Legion is rife with agents under orders to thwart the Legatus' mission by any means necessary. Lest you imagine that we have allies in Garlemald, I should clarify that their motive is wholly uncharitable. Regula Van Hydrus rose to the top of the Garlean military on merit alone, and is fiercely loyal to the Emperor for recognizing his efforts. His compeers, by contrast, rose to the favor of the established order, and would accordingly do anything to see him fail. That they would be so reckless, you truly believe that the actions of these agents contributed to the recent crisis? Aye, in that they pose no less a risk to the realm than those loyal to the Emperor. Plainly, we must needs continue to do all in our power to prevent the technologies of Alag from falling into the hands of man. On that point, at least, we have ever been in complete agreement. Okay. Greetings, Warrior of Light, but one pillar of the warring triad remains, Zurvan, the icon known as the Demon. According to the histories I have uncovered, the monstrous being was worshipped by a race of Mericidian beastmen. These creatures are the key to maintaining Zurvan's manifestation, and we can be sure that many such thralls will be imprisoned somewhere within the research facility. It is imperative that we determine their exact location as swiftly as possible. We dare not risk repeating the near disaster we suffered at the hands of Sophia's servants. As such, your fellow scions have already begun an exhaustive search, but there are several sectors with which only you, Kryl, and I can enter without fear of enthrallment. Let us make our way to Essos Law forthwith and aid the investigation. I am getting so close to being able to discuss an interesting lore tidbit, and I'm excited. I'm gonna burn through it in like 5 minutes, and it doesn't matter. I've been waiting since like the 3/4 of the way through the base of Heavensward to talk about this. I've had it in my notebook since forever. This is not a spoiler now. We've already seen Ravana. God, that's what it's wrong. I feel like if I mentioned every time we came across one of my favorite songs in this game, I would end up systematically listing basically all of the all of the music tracks in this game. It's so good. There's so many good tracks in this fucking game. Okay, I know what's coming up, and it's actually a really cool sequence. I actually do have some recollection of what's about to transpire. Arentel, it is good we caught you. The facility has been swarmed by Imperial troops. By their standards, did we judge them soldiers of the Sixth? Aye, once more doth Regula Van Hydrus stretch forth his hand to seize the forbidden fruits of Alag, and once more have our meticulous wards been swept aside like so many cobwebs. Kalhai, your meddlesome wards were destroyed from within by the pulsating energies of an icon. Nay, put up your weapons and listen. The followers of Zurvan have awakened, and they toil to rouse their master. The demon's worshippers yet slumbered when we confronted Sephora. Could the tempering of her thralls have been more widespread than we thought? They shared a common enemy. 'Tis not unthinkable. I think it was tampering, not tempering. 'Tis not unthinkable that they would seek to free all those the Alagans had imprisoned. Yes, the cage doors are open, and whilst you stand here quibbling over who picked the locks, my soldiers are inside the facility, risking their lives and their sanity. They have volunteered to face death to prevent Zurvan's servants from waking him in the fullness of his power. Now, assuming you have at last understood the gravity of the situation, it is time that I rejoined them. But you cannot hope to succeed. The icon will enslave the minds of any who draw near. Thus did I seek out those with the power to resist his influence. Aid us, and mayhap my men will not perish in vain. You propose an alliance. I have delved into the depths of this place and found its technology wanting. These mechanisms have failed to hold their prisoners, and such broken artifacts are unfit to bring before the Emperor. Twice have you bested me in combat, but you now lend me that strength and stand against our mutual foe. 'Twas in opposing your reckless schemes Izal was lost to us. You expect us to simply forgive and forget all that has come before. I expect you to put aside your emotions and use your better judgment, but of course I am dealing with savages. I will not stand here and justify the death of the Ice Maiden. We pursued our ideals, and you pursued yours. Such was the result, and mayhap you might consider another point. In these endless clashes, we have lost comrades dear to us, yet I choose to put aside past grievances to beg your champion's aid, to appeal to your reason. Thou art willing to build a bridge of common purpose upon such tremulous foundations. I too am hesitant to accept this arrangement. Arkanyastola, but the offer has been made to the Warrior of Light. 'Tis his involvement which shall ultimately sway its outcome. I shall abide by Arantel's decision. Zervad must be stopped. Then for better or worse, we shall fight at your side. Mrs. Kryl and I are also resistant to primal influences. We shall aid you where we can. Then let us be on our way. Our companions have already passed through the research facility. We should not lag behind. Let's go. Let's go. Could have done this as black. Should have done this as black mage. Too late. Too late now. Actually, I can still swap before actually queuing. Quote unquote queuing. The demon stirs. Okay, I can talk about it now. These lizard men are out wandering around as is law. So, are those not chimerical creations from the Alakans? But are they just a handful of the Miracidian centaurs? See? And I burned through it in less than 5 minutes, exactly as expected. Hey, I'm nothing if not predictable. Like a suckling babe, he feedeth upon the aether siphoned unto him by his thralls. We must needs deprive him of his sustenance. Then we destroy those devices. Easy shit. Hold, witness your soldiers. They have turned one against the other. Even half-awake Zervan corrupts and converts those who enter his aura. Zervan's really fucking cool. The three of us then, Arantel and Akalai, we rush in together and each disable a generator. We cannot give them the chance to rally a defense. There are 4 mechanisms by my count. If I can avoid the icon's miasma, my blade will make short work of the last one. We all of us have pledged our lives to keep your lives. I would rather you tend to my fallen. Some may yet survive with their minds intact. See, this is where it's revealed that Mr. Hydros here isn't really a bad guy. We just have opposing ideals. I know not if my strength will be enough. I am no champion. The battlefield is no place for uncertainty, boy. Fate has blessed you with a unique talent and an occasion to use it. Do not waste such a gift. We strike. I would totally wear that armor on my Gunbreaker glam if I A, played Gunbreaker, and B, if it even fucking existed. Madge. Gods, Zervan is... Oh, Rudikali is fucked. Rudikali! I think that a Garlean Gunblade class would be a really good option for the new scouting DPS. I think the biggest issue is it's going to be extremely similar to the aesthetic of a Gunbreaker. So they'll have to lean like really heavily into it being two-handed or a very, very specific aesthetic for the weapon. Also, it's never going to happen. Let's be real. You know, he slumbers once more. No, you were just starting to seem like a cool dude. You saved me. Why? I told you, boy, yours is a gift too precious to waste. A gift the Emperor may one day have need of in his war upon these untamable icons. Emperor Varus, he raised me up from the ranks, stood against my detractors. I gladly give my life in his service. You must finish this. Slay these leeches upon our star. Kill them all. Kill Zervan. Big F. Can I have your armor? We must needs withdraw and prepare our assault. At the cost of his very life, the legateth hath prized open for us a window of opportunity. Neat. I'm gonna swap to Black Mage. That's not Black Mage. I'm back in like a minute. I want to go look at something intently. I'll be gone for like... Again, you know, less than a minute. I just gotta walk over there. It's fine. Beard. You ever wish you could just like make a like clone of yourself, just do like really mundane bullshit? Oh, I actually have side NPCs to talk to. Let's go. 'Tis not often that I dare approach so closely to entities such as Zervan. How sharply I am reminded of the burden we place upon those whom are blessed with the Echo. These wounded soldiers will live, but further battle is beyond them. I have counseled them to remain here until their compatriots arrive to bear them home. I had thought Regula a cold and ruthless man, but he showed surprising compassion for his soldiers. And it also seems he placed great trust in his emperor. If Regula could be convinced that the technology of containing primals is fatally flawed, then mayhap Varus can be convinced as well. The research facility crawls with Zervan's faithful, and they will not cease in their efforts to rouse him. If you would honor the legatus' sacrifice, then you must slaughter those fiends to the last. Forgive me if I show little gratitude for my rescue. It is said that the Emperor and Van Hydrus were childhood friends. Foul fortune that we should be the ones to bring news of his death. Fucking sad. What a guy. Would have been really cool if his death had come up later. If you know, you know. He's dead, and I only been stronger. Enough of that. There'll be time for regrets after we've rid the world of Zurvan. Kryl has the right of it. The demon has fallen back into torpor for now, but we must act swiftly if Regula's death is to have meaning. The survivors speak of an army of thralls loose in the facility, and we must assume that these followers continue their efforts to awaken the Icon. Let us then concentrate upon diverting them from their task. Mistress Kryl and Master Unakalai, I prithee secure the controls to Zurvan's shackles and limit the restoration of his might. Archon Shola and I shall forge ahead. Strike down those thralls as would seek to harry you. Warrior of Light, thine is, as ever, the most perilous duty. Gather to thee thy trusted companions, and extinguish from this realm the fires of the demon himself. Or I can solo him. I wonder if there's a pot glamour where you can like, wear it on your head. You can make let me solo her in Final Fantasy XIV. Once more, and then, you know what, we're going to be finishing the Warring Triad in like 2 hours. I thought it would have taken at least 3. Well, no, we're going to be done at like 2:15. So I'm going to get a decent chunk of a post-Evansward in. Although I will be...
enough sacrifice for one day.
I will be getting off at like
the
6 o'clock, so...
Zurvan now.
I likely will not be streaming past 6 a.m. Maybe I'll surprise myself. I'll get really hooked in. But I must be honest, my voice can only take so much. My lofty 5-hour stream goals really only work when the game does most of the talking for me. Okay, now let's see if I can remember my Black Mage rotation. Taking no damage. You can't hurt me if you're dead. Good and evil, the war eternal.
Good and evil, the war eternal.
You fucker made me drop my element. Aspect, that's what.
My doubt is fled.
Bitch! Oh wait, I mean... He's like the spam soul. Whoa. Okay, here we go. Oh, there we go. I literally skipped his entire second phase. God, Black Mage is fun. I could have done it with Samurai too. I might actually roll in here with Samurai and see if I can actually like skip all of his phases. It's really. You know what? I think I will, and you can just like skip literally 30 seconds ahead in the 5. It's a big problem. Hopefully I'm not the only person who takes perverse joy in watching a boss die in 2 hits. Incredible as always, Arentel. Hopefully that will be the last of our world, the last our world sees of the likes of Zurvan. Every one of his thralls has been slain, as far as we can determine. Our victory over the warring triad is complete. An impossible feat had we not been blessed with your cooperation. I am very cool, I know. Let us not forget the efforts of Regula van Hydrus and his men. Without their noble sacrifice, the demon would have awoken far sooner and possessed of far more formidable energies. The bodies of the fallen now accompany the survivors on the return journey to Garlemald. 'Tis known the Imperials recognize no god, yet they would honor the dead in their own fashion. And when next we meet, our fleeting alliance will surely be forgotten. 'Twas an interesting exchange nonetheless. They spoke of their present ruler as a man who values self-sufficiency. Varus befriended Regula in their youth, it seems, and was highly impressed by his martial prowess. 'Tis common knowledge that Regula's rise to legatus was in great part advocated by the Emperor himself. Regula freely admitted his shortcomings when it came to politics, and it was Varus's unconditional support that served to win his undying fealty. One does not expect such tales of camaraderie to lurk beneath the Emperor's iron exterior. Contrary to all expectations, the man died a hero. Witnessing the way you all leapt into danger without hesitation, it would seem I am surrounded by heroes. Yet my known actions were aught but heroic. I have not the qualities nor the character to stand at the warrior of light's side. What a curious thing to say. Are you truly concerned that you do not measure up to some arbitrary requirement? If you knew of the path I walked to reach this place, you would understand why I doubt myself, so return with me to the Rising Stones, and I shall tell you of it. Don't teleport me, thank you. Actually, it wouldn't matter. Okay. I want to see if I can do what I think I can do. I think it'll be really fucking funny if I can pull this off. Yeah. Skip fucking cutscene. Okay, it's not going quite how I thought it would. I was like completely certain that using this was going to like skip everything. He's very fucking low though, so maybe it will be the kind of landslide victory I thought.
Good and evil, the war eternal.
Yeah, he's fucked.
My doubt is fled.
I'm just standing on the fire, fuck it.
If such is my fate.
Okay, that was interesting. Interesting and, you know, vaguely disappointing. But, you know, it's life. These things happen. Okay, let's wrap this quest line. Oh, I should have swapped classes. Did I fix it? Nope, too late. With your victory over Zurvan, the warring triad is finally defeated. I am afraid, however, that my known efforts have often been more hindrance than help, and you and your fellow scions deserve to hear the reasons behind my actions. I was gonna make my headpiece vanish because the hat actually covers more of my face than I want it to during these cutscenes. It's actually be fun during Storm's Blood, but I guess it's not terrible. It fits the aesthetic very well. This is like one of my more favorite glamours. I promise to tell you of my journey, of who I am, of where I'm from. The truth is, I am not of this world. I was born of a different star, a child whose power of the echo was too feeble to save his dying world. It's not strictly speaking accurate. It's another reflection. This is a bit of weird lore that got complicated later. A child who, unlike you, never became a warrior of light. When all I knew stood on the brink of destruction, I was yet half grown. Had I been born about a handful of years earlier, history may have written a different tale. The seeds of our heroes that had yet to fully sprout may not have withered and perished. The star I failed to save is known to you now as the Void. It's not really a star, it's a reflection. Sometimes I wish they would like go back and like tweak old dialogue to make it line up better. The Warantel knew not that I spoke of my homeland. I had explained to him before the cause of its turn. A magic was devised to contain a defeated primal's might within a stone known as Orosite, and the energies which bled from this imperfect vessel gradually corrupted the champions who wielded it. These heroes became slaves to an insatiable hunger for aether, eventually transforming into hideous fiends, and none who clung to the faint traces of light were strong enough to oppose them. The demons next turned upon each other in a war which drained the land's aether in ever greater amounts, until one day the star was suddenly swallowed in a flood of darkness, an entire world unmade in an instant. The void sent you encounter here in this realm are the twisted remnants of once mortal beings who gnaw on what motes of life force remain. And as I lay dying, beaten and broken in my failed last stand, 'twas a white-robed Ascian who found my tormented spirit and bore me away to the rift. Betwixt worlds, Elidibus has been my master ever since. Has been? Event tab. Yeah, this has been. At my mentor's feet did I learn of the nature of reality, of the existence of mirrored worlds, and the eternal struggle between dark and light. Sudden and overwhelming superiority of either side will shatter the balance, and the world in question will be returned to the void by a calamity beyond imagining. Interesting. As the self-appointed custodian of this balance, my master warned me that the source, the first of all worlds, slips perilously close to oblivion. In what spirit did this master proffer such a warning, a benevolent gesture, or a veiled threat? To these questions and more do I mean to coax forth answers, yet no matter his intention, that Heidelin doth teeter on a knife's edge is an undeniable truth. Knowing this, what choice was given you to make, Jesus Christ. I chose to join my master and act as his instrument on the star. The tragedy that befell my home cannot be repeated. I will see this world saved. And yet I hesitated at the most crucial of moments. What right have I to stand alongside a true warrior of light? In thine own words, thou wert called before thy time, and I offer that thou dwellest overmuch on the question, what maketh the hero? Locke. The search for the answer leaveth thee paralyzed by doubt. Oriange is such a joy to read. Heed me, Master Unakalai. Thou needest not believe thyself a hero to perform great deeds. 'Tis the deed itself which earneth thee the hero's mantle. Aye, the ideals you hold can be less important than having the faith to act upon them. Regula's loyalty to the Emperor guided his actions until the last, and though we did not see eye to eye on many things, his final deed can be called not less than heroic. Personally, I find that faith in my companions allows me to act unhindered by uncertainty. Sorry about that. I know that should I ever falter, Arantel and the others will be there to support me, or steer me back onto the right path if needed. I see. In the days leading up to my world's destruction, I was entirely alone. I never knew what it was like to have such comrades. I cannot imagine the loneliness you must have felt, but look around you now, Unakalai. You are not alone anymore. That's way more wholesome than I remember. Welcome to the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. I will fulfill my promise to save this world, and when I stumble, I shall be glad to have your hands there to steady me. My apologies. This is difficult for me. For so long, I have spoken from behind a mask. We should all feel comfortable speaking without such concealments. I should hope you appreciate the irony of that statement, Oriange. That was a lot more wholesome than I remember it. That's a neat little ending. And thus the Warring Triad is done. What a fun little side quest, and the first of the trial series. There's one in Storm's Blood and Shadowbringers, but apparently there's not going to be one in Endwalker. So that's interesting. We'll see how it works out. As long as we get the same number of trials, I'm not going to question anything. Well then, that wraps up the Warring Triad then. Huh. Well, I am getting a little hungry, so I think I'm gonna make myself some, like, I don't know what the fuck you would call it, frankly, at this time of night. Equivalence unto dinner, I suppose. But before I do that, I am gonna walk my ass up to where the next quest line starts. Let's see. Ethernet. Where does it want me? Wait a minute. Is it in the Fort Tom's Manor? I'm gonna assume it is. So it is. Okay, well, I am going to go offline. I'm probably going to be going longer than 10 minutes, and I don't want a massive 20-minute chunk of my stream just being dead air with some nice music. And I like watching videos while I eat. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do like a watch log or nothing. But I'll be back in probably less than an hour, back live. I'm not going to do any Twitter stuff or anything. And because I don't want to fucking spam anyone. But yeah, I'm gonna head out. But until I return, and assuming I return, who knows what may happen in the intervening time? Something may come up. I may suddenly not feel like streaming. Who knows? But even if I do not come back later, have a good one, all.